this loud? Aloha mai kako. My name is Logan Espiritu, and I chose Kulintang as the topic of my presentation. My title is Kulintang, a musical tradition of the Southern Philippines. Let's get started, and I hope you enjoy. So, why did I choose Kulintang for my topic? I am a third generation Filipino American. My great grandparents, who are in this picture right in front of you, are from Ilocos Norte, which is northern Philippines, and they immigrated to Hawaii. And I wanted to learn more about a musical tradition that was not from the northern or central Philippines, where my family is from, and learn something new. So, what is Kulintang? Kulintang is common among the Mindanao region of the southern Philippines. Kulintang is the Mindanao term for the idiophone, which, if you remember, is an instrument the whole of which, when shaken or scraped, or in the case of the Kulintang, struck, will vibrate to produce sound. The kulintang is a set of 8 bossed gongs. Boss just means it has like that little nipple on top of the gong itself that you see here, that are arranged from in like graduating sizes, arranged from lowest to highest pitch, and typically laid over a wooden frame. But I've seen metal, but traditional is wood. The kulintang is part of an instrumental ensemble along with other gongs and a skin drum, which I will show you in the next slide. It is performed in various occasions, such as official celebrations in the community, weddings, engagement parties, baptisms, but more recently, competitions, as well as just for recreation and fun with family and friends. So the Kulintang of the Philippines is considered to be one of the most ancient forms of knobbed gong music found in Southeast Asia. And as I said, the Kulintang itself can be played solo, but more commonly is seen with an assortment of other instruments. And when it is together, it is called a Kulintang ensemble. The Kulintang ensemble includes the agong, the dabakan, the gandingan, and the babandil, and of course the kulintang itself. So this presentation focuses on Mindanao, where kulintang is most commonly found, and that you can see is right there in the southern Philippines. I put a little red circle there for you to see. Looks gorgeous, by the way. You should go. So some origins for you folks about the Kulintang. It is generally found among the Islamic coastal communities. It is believed that the other gong and chime traditions from Indonesia as well as Malaysia brought their traditions to Mindanao and the southern Philippines, where those traditions were introduced to the indigenous people there, and they incorporated it into their own music, and that's where Kulintang came from and is what we know today. It is associated with Islam, but is not related to the Islamic faith, which is a very important distinction. Kulintang origins are not quite clear, but it is connected to other gong traditions in Southeast Asia, and it may be identified as a smaller development from the gong and chime traditions practiced in Bali and Java, the gamelan and paifat of Thailand, which we learned about in class. So, an oral analysis, Kulintang pieces are often played with a moderate to fast tempo, a distinction that the Kulintang has much a much faster decay of sound. In other words, sounds are not sustained very long. Um, the Kulintang ensemble in Mindanao is called the uh, Palaban Ibayan, meaning loud sounding, because when the instruments all play together, the sound can actually be quite thundering. So here's a little video of the Kulintang instrument just by itself. Take a listen.
Hello. Welcome. Hello. Hopa, get down on stage or get down on the grass with our speaker, please. And continue if you need after that. Thank you.
And this video is of the Kulintang ensemble that has all the different instruments that I talked about and the Kulintang right there in the middle as the central focus. I just love the sound, especially when it's the ensemble like that. It's very exciting. It has like a sense of frivolity and celebration that I just find really, really cool. On to performance and aesthetics. So the way how Kulintang is taught is all through, or originally was all through oral tradition. So nothing was written down. There were no books or texts that was like given to the player that they could read. So it was passed on from generation to generation, usually starting at a very young age and taught by a master. So the heritage definitely remains distinct to the southern Philippines. And where the player kind of becomes like the guardian of the tradition and like becomes the guardian of the traditions and the oral culture of his or her people. But recently, with globalization and technology, um, it's changing how Kulintang is being taught. So now you're starting to see Kulintang pieces being digitally transcribed or written down on paper. So it's more common to find a self-taught Kulintang player because now it's being taught in like universities and community centers. So I just want to end this presentation with two people who are credited with bringing Kulintang from the Philippines here to America. This is Danny Kalanduyan. He's considered the grandfather of American Kulintang playing. He started learning Maguindanao music at a very, very young age, and at like age 7, his parents and his cousins started teaching him how to play music instruments. He went on to win island-wide competitions, moved here to America, founded the Kulintang Ensemble of San Francisco, which is very well known, and in 1995 became a National Heritage Fellow. And this is I'm Titiana, excuse me. She graduated from the Philippine Women's University, came to America as well, and actually was mentored by Danny Kalanduan, and till this day remains a very important member of the Kulintang Ensemble of San Francisco. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thanks so much for watching.